Good morning, allies. I'm still congested, like I've got just one side completely plugged up of my head, so I'm not doing great. I popped an Allegra D, which is kind of like my kryptonite for colds. Usually sorts me out, but I wanted to talk. So I'm forcing myself to go to work as the Cliff Notes version of all this. Wanted to talk though. So last night, I decided I was going to just start cold calling some local places around me to place a vending machine. I got through about 2 of them, and then Leah's like, "Hey, is it okay if I critique your pitch there?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And she goes, "Well, you know, you kind of want to ask for." Now, by the way, this is totally subjective. I'll get to this in a little bit. I've done cold calling before. We have differences of opinion. But there's one thing I can't replicate, and that's being a female. And so I realized pretty quickly, I was like, "Hey, you know, you're right. You wanna try a couple of these?" And she's like, "Yeah, can you watch Edison?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I took Edison, I go to the playroom, and she proceeds to call like 15 places and gets 3 positive responses. So potentially going to be able to place a couple machines out of that, which it's like, yeah, of course, why not have a female make all these calls? You're generally going to be talking to males in business and restaurant businesses. Just let a female do it. So my exposure to cold calling, one of my first jobs was Extreme Yo-Yos in California, Southern California, and it was literally a yo-yo store. And this was during the yo-yo craze of '97 and '98. And the reason why it got so popular and there was such a peak surge was there was a traveling show called Yo For It, and it was put on by Yomega, produced by Bandai. Bandai is like the monopoly toy maker in Japan, at least it was at this time. Yomega had this inspirational, I think, keep kids off of drugs show that they would put on at local schools. Well, to get the Yomega team in there, you had to cold call. And the place I was working said, "Josh, we want you to sit in this room. You've got a good personality for this, and we want you to cold call and get the team in there. And you wanna talk up this and that, blah blah blah." So I did it. I think I nailed I got like all the schools in, I don't know, 20 miles, and they all wanted it. There was very few skeptical in the beginning, but then once you have a couple of them happen and it's a really positive outcome, then all the schools are like, "Yeah, absolutely, come to my school, come to my school, come to my school." Well, what happens is when they finish, the Yo For It team handed out coupons, and the coupons were 10% off at the Extreme Yo-Yo. And so all of a sudden you got kids climbing all over the place. And then we were doing classes as well. It's like black belt in yo-yo. I was also a class giver up to THC1, THP, Team High Performance. Yeah, I remember all that stuff. Wow, that's pretty wild. Alrighty, allies, good evening. Ben and I are going to pick up dinner. Not doing anything fancy or mukbangy. Yeah, you want a quesadilla? Okay. Not doing anything mukbangy today because it's not really that great what we're getting. It's not raining, that's true. I don't know what that has to do with the mukbang. Over here. Oh, a bunch of Rubios. No good for you foods. So based off of all of Leah's good work, I went and picked up another 2 machines, a gumball and candy machine. We're gonna go place them either tomorrow or Friday, hopefully. And yeah, she picked up like 3 locations that we're gonna be able to drop machines on, which is great. So what I need to do right now, gumballs are easy. The mechanism that's in a gumball machine is very straightforward. It just takes a gumball and spits it out. However, this is, just get that out of the way. This is a sunshade so stuff doesn't melt. So you see the bottom here, right here? This little cam is adjustable. And you're supposed to adjust it based on the product that you're selling. If you're selling Skittles, then you want to make that narrow because you're going to be able to get more Skittles in each one of these little pie cuts. if you're selling something like Micronikes, which is exactly what I'm selling, then you need to make them very wide. And the reason for that is so that you're maximizing your cost ratio. You want it to be fair for 25 cents, but you don't want to make it too fair that you're not making any money. So how do you factor that in? Well, right here is a 4.5 pound bag of Micronikes. I paid, what did I pay for this? About
Wrong, $7.47.
$17. In case you weren't aware how this works either, this is the coin mechanism. It slides right into the front of the plastic housing. Some of these housings are metal. My other unit is all metal, but look at how new this mechanism is. This thing is like brand new. I bought this, full disclosure, I bought this 2-head unit for $85 with the stand. And it's like unused. This is like unused equipment. This is really, really nice stuff. Pretty excited by that. To put it back, that's it. And that allows you to do like 50 cent, 75 cent mechanisms if you need to. So what I need to do is pull out my scale and do a little bit of measuring right now. Hold on. So let's tear that out. This is So let's take some Micronikes here, make a small hole because we don't want to make a. I'm doing this a bit wrong. One, because I'm eating candy. Two, I'm gonna add some candy to the machine. I'm gonna dispense a quarter worth. I'm gonna weigh that. I'm gonna compare it to what the bag is worth. Divide that against what's it worth. That'll give me an idea of how much 25 cents is getting me on this bag. Right? Makes sense. Okay, this much. Let's put this much on the scale. $16 grams. Okay, 15 grams. Okay, so if the Micronikes dispense at 15 grams per turn, and what do we say? 20.97? Is that about right? I'm not sure. Hold on, let me go back. If we say about 4.5 pounds is 241 grams, then all we need to do is take the 241 divided by 15. I'm sorry, 2041 and divide it by 15. Means we get 136 vens. Multiply that by 25.25, 25 cents, is $34. Okay? Initial investment was $17.
Wrong, $7.47.
Which means it's a $17 profit. That's not exactly what you want, I believe. Let me find out what the standards are for dispensing Micronikes. So I looked up some business practice standards. Micronikes, you should aim to vend about 7 pieces per turn. Right now we're vending 9 to 10. We need to dial that back a bit. How do we do that? Let me show you. Okay. Yeah, that was the trick. So this is the brush mechanism, these little springs prevent over-vending of candy. This is the candy wheel. So to set this, you loosen it up a bit. Oh, I see. You actually have to take this thing out. Oh, yeah. I think we're pretty close. So it uses these notches to determine. So I'm just going to come in 1 notch. we did not get closer. Let's try one more time. That was 10. We learned that we need to cam it up again. It's a good idea to do this because, oh, well, I don't have to put it back on the machine at all. You don't need to put it back on the machine, you can just articulate the movement on its own. Nice and full. I'm going to articulate. There we go. I'm going to articulate right over the. Okay, that was 7. That was exactly 7. Seven again. Seven again. Good deal. All right, we're getting closer. I think we're just about got it narrowed down. All right, that's where we want to be. So, let's put this back together. Okay, here's the final test now. This was 8. Eight again. Which, if we hit 8, that's okay. I'm gonna be alright with that. 8. Okay. So, we have a reasonable level of accuracy that 8 is the number that's going to bend on a quarter. 8, let's figure that out. 13 grams. 2041 divided by 13 equals 157 times 0.25, $40. So, $40 is a profit off of a bag of Mike and Ike's right now. No less than $40. So my goal is going to be to get those Mike and Ike's as cheap as possible, or potentially do a different candy. That may be a good idea. Looking good. Guys, that will do it for today. Question of the day. Do you find these videos interesting, the vending videos? This is a bit of the under the hood, how you do, oh, excuse me, how you do vending. Candy is not as profitable as gumballs. Gumballs is ridiculously profitable. So part of what I'm going to do is try and increase the candy residual income profitability, if you will, by not eating it. This should work. Alright guys, love your comments. If you haven't already, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love it if you subscribe. If this is the first time you've seen my videos, I do videos every day covering all kinds of aspects of my, what I think is a relatively mundane life, but I take a camera along with me so you get to enjoy some of the sometimes wackiness that goes on. But it's always interesting, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.